Hi. This one just doesn't cut out as bad as the other one does.
Okay, it came up as Diane, so I wasn't sure it was you, okay?
So what bills do you have that are in my mom's name?
Well, let's see. There would be, of course, the mortgage was one of them.
Right.
Our propane is through her.
Have they?
And I've already been in.
You've already been in contact with them?
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
Since they passed away?
Oh yes. In fact, I was on the phone with them, I think, yesterday again.
And what did they tell you?
Well, so because my name was not on it, we're filling out. I'm getting my name on a complete app, so I have an open account with them, and then we'll probably end up just transferring the balance that we owe now over to it. So
you're going to take the remaining balance?
They have to decide that.
Okay.
They're saying if for some reason they don't like. They know that I don't have an income for 2 years. They know a bunch of that stuff. So say, well, if for some reason you don't qualify for the credit, then they'll end up just discharging the bills through the regular process. But what we're trying to do is I'm trying to remain a good customer with them, and it's our obligation and responsibility. So what we're trying to do is set up a whole other account, and then they're going to be deciding if they're going to go ahead and put the money in there for me to go ahead and pay off, or if they're going to handle it differently.
Okay.
So that's where that's at.
Okay.
There's the plow, which is separate from the truck.
And that's with the Synchrony Bank, right?
Let's see. I have all the names of all these places in different. I believe that's Synchrony. Yes, that sounds right. Mary handled most of this portion of the paperwork, so all of the details are because it was in her name. So,
right.
So then let's see. Then you've already spoken with Home Depot and dealt with that.
I have, or you have?
Both of us have.
Yeah, because that's I think it's a Synchrony card as well.
And then by Synchrony, I think that went through like Citibank or something, didn't it?
Okay.
Anyway, but then we have. I've been trying to get a hold of. We have a small greenhouse that we bought, and that we bought it on time, and that's in Mary's name primarily. And so I've been trying to. I call them at 10 in the morning and said, and they got we're closed. But then their hours. Anyway, I'm trying to get a hold of them and see what they want to do since it's in her name. And the truck, and that's really just about it, I think.
Insurance? What are you doing with insurance?
Well, insurance, you mean for the vehicles?
Right.
Yeah, so Mary and Mother's been taken off of all of that, so everything's just in my name for now.
Are you going to pay for it?
I already have.
Okay. May I ask you when you paid for insurance?
Yesterday.
Okay. Let me see what else I have. What about your mom's credit card with Chase?
Well, that's a whole separate thing I've got to deal with. That doesn't involve Mary.
No, it doesn't. It's just in one of my mom's accounts.
It's which account are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I think you don't know, but my mom had a whole separate email account that she put a lot of stuff in, even if it was like written down. She took a picture of it and put it in there. So I have a lot of information about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but Mary's not on. Neither one of us are on any of those accounts.
Which account?
Mother's accounts.
No, I can definitely see that.
You can definitely see what?
I can definitely see that you're not on any of my mom's accounts.
No, I said, you asked me about Barbara's account, one of Barbara's accounts.
Right, I asked you if you were taking care of it or not, because it needs to be taken care of.
Right.
Heather has a refillable card that was in my mom's name. That needs to come back. Is she sending it back to you, or is she sending it to me?
Oh, I think she'll probably send it here.
That's funny, because she said she couldn't even find it.
I think we picked it up from when we were there the last time. Is what it seems like. She gave it back to Mary.
No, there's recent charges on it, so I know that's not the case.
Well, I understand that, and then when she brought us the nutritional, I believe that's when she gave it all back to us. I think they're all here, but she's checking.
What about Verizon Wireless?
We don't have Verizon, haven't for years.
Okay, who's your cell phone company then?
We're going through, we just switched, T-Mobile. We switched to a T-Mobile account from Sprint.
So whose name is that in?
You know what? I do need to double check that. I just paid it. I think it's still all in my name. That was all my stuff from before. Let me double check on that today.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
And she has a phone, and Mother has a phone, but I think I'm still all the primary on it and everything.
Okay. And so her Synchrony Bank is the Cutting Edge. You don't know a store by the name of Cutting Edge?
The name is...
It has to do with that equipment.
Do you have an amount? Do you have what other information do you have?
It's almost $5,000.
I'm thinking that's the plow. I'm quite certain that's the plow. And
your mom has the PERS account, Oregon Public.
That's all been shut down.
Good. And what about your mom's Social Security?
All been shut down. All shut down in December still.
But you didn't shut your mom's Social Security down.
Again, that was shut down in December.
What about my mom's Social Security?
Yeah, that's been. Well, let's see. What do I know about it? I don't know for sure about mom's Social Security.
My mom's Social Security?
I'm not sure. I haven't done anything with that.
What about my mom's pension? And your mom's pension?
All of my mother's stuff has been taken care of. But those are a couple of pieces of with Mary's stuff that I don't know if I've found the information on how to contact who on those. So I assume, I don't know how everybody gets notified of everything, but I have done nothing for any of those.
Okay, and you said you talked about the shed.
Yeah.
The Home Depot card.
Hopefully I'll know on what they're going to do with the shed, and I can just take it over, right? But since it's in her name, I don't know what their process is going to be.
So the Home Depot card's balance right now is a little over $2,000. You're going to take care of that?
They told me not to pay anything.
Who?
Home Depot. They said it's got to run its course. Don't pay anything. I'm not obligated to anything. Not until their probate people clear through and see what is, and then they'll be contacting me if there's anything I need to do.
Have you contacted a probate attorney?
Have what?
Have you contacted a probate attorney?
Yes. I haven't retained one or anything, but...
May I ask you the name?
No. I haven't decided on one at the moment.
Okay.
And, I'm just finally getting healthy enough to be more proactive in some of these ways, so it's been a rough month.
I guess you got the $8,000 from the Allstate claim, right?
Yes, from Mother.
And you just got that a couple days before your mom died?
A couple days before she died, yes.
And that was signed over to you.
I handle her affairs, so...
But she signed it over to you on the 9th or the 10th of December?
Was it that early? Yes.
Not probably a little over a week before she passed away. Your mom?
It was something like that. I don't know the exact
And your mom
time
signed it?
period. No, she didn't sign it. They direct deposited it. She signed the paperwork to have them direct deposit. Yeah.
So she signed the paperwork to have something direct deposit, or she signed the paperwork to have it.
Correct. To approve the amount and close it out and have it deposited.
And what about the Avon account in Bank of America?
Yeah, it's the only one that I'm still communicating with. She still receives some income from there from her business, and so we're trying to figure out if we're going to. I've got to communicate with Avon. She has not done Avon now since her stroke, but she has customers that buy from her online, so I have to communicate. And it's like, maybe we might get $10-15 in here a month, something like that. If somebody buys something, she gets a little percentage that comes through. But I need to contact them and let them know. I have already talked to her supervisor, so they may have already got the word somehow to the company. But that's one I haven't followed all the way through yet, because there's really not. It hasn't been high priority to me since it's not a lot going on. But I do need to contact them.
And what about South Beach Missions?
What about South Beach Missions?
Well, y'all have to pay them, right?
Pay them what?
You don't have to pay them anything?
No.
For your PATA, whatever that's called, religion stuff? Pyramid scheme or whatever that is?
Pyramid scheme is a corporation.
Your PATA's a corporation based in Oregon?
Yes.
And South Beach is based in Florida?
No. South Beach, I believe they're still based in Oregon.
And what about my mom's IRS account?
Mother, she has several. You're talking about the money that she owes?
My mom, yes. Not mother, but my mom.
You like the word mom, okay.
Well, she's my mom. She's not your mother, so that your mother is Barbara, right?
I said your mother, but you didn't hear me clearly. That's okay. I understand.
You use her name, Mary.
Yeah, okay. She had, and I think, and I'm not trying to say anything negative at all, because we were very open about everything, but she had a couple of stresses, like the IRS account, that she wasn't telling me about right away. Then in the last couple of months, she started telling me that there's 2 or 3, and she's been fighting it with her attorneys and some stuff trying to figure out, because she doesn't think she owes it, and there's the IRS account, and then there's also one of them was turned over to the oh my goodness, I don't remember the name of the 3-letter agency. I got all the paperwork upstairs. The Department of the Treasury was after her, and her attorneys and everybody always like, why are they coming? And so she's been trying to figure this out for a couple of months that I know about, and I don't know where it's at. They just keep taking the money out of her money every month is what they've been doing. And her attorneys said they can't do it, but they do it. And so her attorneys that were helping her with, her malpractice suit were trying to help her manage that, and I don't know what they will do now that she's deceased. I don't know what they'll be trying to do to collect what they think she owes them.
And what does the her medical malpractice attorney told you?
She basically said that neither of us, she never redirected, in case something happened to her, somebody to, I can't remember the terminology, so I'm not even going to try to say it, but that we would have to go to a court and petition. And he said he'd be glad to explain it again if we needed some help doing that. You may know some of this, but we're going to have to go and petition to be the stand-in, whatever the right terminology is. But right now, he says basically it sounds to me like it's a closed case unless somebody comes forward to be that individual.
Right. Are you planning on doing that?
I had not planned to do that.
Okay. Because I do plan to do it, but I also am going to get her death certificates.
Right.
Is there any reason that you need a death certificate of Mary's?
I would think it would be smart to have a couple of them on hand, at least copies, because just because, maybe one for me, but in case any of these accounts that we're dealing with, need some kind of proof.
Well, I'm handling all that. So is there any reason for you to need a death certificate for Mary?
It would be a sentimental thing. I would like to have a copy.
A death certificate would be a sentimental thing?
Well,
I don't understand your ideology behind that, but that's fine.
I mean, and maybe I don't. Once you say no, it's a closed door. So, I may not have need for.
Well, I'm asking you: is there a reason that you need or want? And I'm gonna ask you to leave out the sentimental part of it. Is there any reason that you need or want a death certificate from my mom, Mary Kelly?
I believe I should have one, again, because we shared so much stuff in case I need to show some kind of verification.
That can always be given by me to whomever needs to see it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So you have both of my phone numbers. You'll be able to contact me for that. Is there any other reason?
So if you have an issue with me having one, then don't worry about it.
I don't know that I have an issue with you having one. I think there's a lot of bills and accounts and a lot of other things that I need to take care of in regards to my mom. And, of course, the death certificates I have to pay for. So,
right.
At this point, I'm asking, is there any reason or need that you need one? That you need to handle?
Yeah, not that I know of at the moment. No, I don't have a reason.
Okay, if there becomes any reason, please feel free to contact me and let me know.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll be glad to handle that.
I can't think of any one of these that would need proof at this point. But anyway,
well, they all need proof, but it's not going to come back from mom's stuff. Mary's stuff is not going to come back from the state crime lab. Can I ask you a question on that too?
On which, yeah.
Why did you never tell me that she was having an autopsy and that there's a detective on the case?
I did not know that until just this second. When you asked me to back out, that you were handling, I backed out, and I haven't touched it. They called me at one point to ask me what's going on. I said I backed clear off because Angela asked me to back out. So I heard. Who did I just hear from? Somebody. I think it was them, and they said that she's still down there. They were waiting to figure out what they're supposed to be doing with her. So I have no idea what's going on with her down there. I've talked to them quite a bit because they finished up dealing with my mother and things. And,
so you talked to Stephen Corner quite a bit. Is that who you're speaking about?
Stephen, primarily, yes. I've talked to the office a couple times.
And nobody told you there was an actual investigation in regards to my mom's death because there's 2 deaths in one house in 2 days.
Oh, I knew that. In fact, they were here for almost an hour and a half the second time. I knew that when I made the phone call. And so I absolutely assumed all that was going on. Absolutely. But I didn't know anything that was going on.
If you didn't know why Mary passed away and you thought there was only a slight fever, those are your words, right?
No, she was sick. She was sick for almost 2 weeks.
Marvin, I asked you.
Yes.
I asked you in text, because that's the only way you responded to me. I asked you in text, was she sick? What was she diagnosed with? Who diagnosed her? And the answer you gave me is that she only had a slight fever past couple days. Do you remember that?
She was sick for almost 2 weeks. She was battling the high fever for a couple of days, and then she felt like it broke. And she was having some respiratory breathing issues.
So why did you
she thought it was over. And then all of a sudden it was not. So
why did you not tell me that situation? Instead, you gave me the words that she only had a slight fever past couple days.
I have no idea what I told you. I was sick also. I had probably just lost my mom. I had probably just lost Mary. I don't remember what I told you. I just know what is.
Okay.
If you know your mom at all, and I know you do, she did not like doctors. She had an appointment, and I thought she can't. Her mother had something. There was an appointment, and she called and canceled it. She didn't want to go in.
Do you know she had a local doctor?
Yes.
And what was your knowledge of her use for that local doctor?
She called her when it was both mother's doctor also, so they both used them when they needed anything or had to go in for something. Her name is, let me get it, Belinda with a B, Belinda Weiss, W-I-S-E, or is it a Z-E? Belinda Weiss at the Liddy Clinic.
Do you know that Mary has taken antibiotics in the past several months?
Not that I know of.
Right.
She doesn't usually do that kind of stuff, as you know.
She didn't do it in front of you, Marvin. That's all.
What?
She just didn't do it in front of you, Marvin. That's all.
That could be. It could be.
No, it was. That's the way it is. Do you know the detective actually got a hold of the doctor?
I don't know anything that any of the detectives have done.
I mean, I think my biggest thing on the whole mom's death, besides the inconsistent saying of how she died or what she was sick with, the fact that she, most normal people would be like, how did she die? And you would say, well, she's getting an autopsy. She's with the coroner. And as soon as I know, I'll tell you. I'm just kind of wondering why that hasn't happened with you when you've texted me at any point. Does that make sense in my question?
No, it doesn't. I understood that you were handling everything. I was waiting to hear something. You asked me right up front to back out that you were handling it.
I told you I would handle my mom's death in her body, but you never told me that there was an autopsy.
I did not know. I did not know until you just told me. I assumed they were probably going to be doing some of that. I assumed, but I have not heard anything definite. Nobody's told me anything.
But you lived with her, so Steve would have contacted you. Steve would have told you. Steve, the coroner?
No, Steve said you told him that you were handling it. He won't talk to me.
That's what Steve told you?
Yes. Yeah, he's still trying to figure out what totally to do, but...
But what?
I can't get any information from him at all at this point.
Have you offered to pay for her cremation or anything else?
That was talked about in the beginning, and then you stepped in and said you were handling it. Back out. So that's what I've told him. I'm not going to do anything until this all settles out.
I mean, I don't think I've ever told you to back out, but yeah, I did tell you that I was handling her death and her body.
Well, I may be using the wrong words.
Right. I mean, I'm trying very clearly to not miss words and only speak of what I have written to you and vice versa. So I'm just going to use proper verbiage because I'm not going to try to mix words, or anything else.
Right.
Because there is an ongoing investigation.
Of course there is. I knew that, like I just said, I knew that the minute I made the second call. Oh my gosh, I got to call them again. Absolutely, they were here with,
So why wouldn't you tell me about the investigation? Why did I have to find out from somebody else? From the detective, actually. Why did I have to find out from the detective? Why couldn't have you told me? See, I don't have hatred right now.
I don't know. I do not know what is going on once she left this house. I have no idea.
Marvin, it took 2 days before I was even contacted. So what happened in those 2 days?
Exactly. I was extremely sick, and you can imagine I was extremely disillusioned, and I was gone. I was out of it. You don't understand. Probably I almost lost my life within the week or two afterwards.
You're right. I don't understand because for the past 3 weeks, and this is the first time you've actually spoken with me.
Right.
Why?
You came at me so harsh.
No, I didn't.
In the beginning, and I apologize for my responses back. But when you come at me harsh, I come back. You want to fight? You want to fight? I mean, anybody. But if you want to talk, let's talk. I mean, however you come at somebody, that's how they respond back. So yeah, I was out of it. I was delusioned. I was in a mess, and then you came at me kind of hard.
Do you think those are your feelings that you...
I didn't make any phone calls for a couple of days. I just said I wasn't a normal guy, healthy guy, sitting there, okay, now here's the business I got to take care of. I got to start calling everybody. I was a mess.
Do you understand that your feelings about how I responded to you is possibly how you think about me coming at you harshly instead of me actually coming at you harshly?
Absolutely. I totally would agree to that.
Then why,
totally.
after 3 weeks now is where we are, then why at that point have you not come back and spoken to me properly and asked those questions and had that discussion? Because I am an adult and you are as well.
I understand, and I understand also, Angela, that you lost your mom and you're going through stuff too. I totally get all this. And we all respond differently. We all handle things differently. I've had people stopping in here regularly just to make sure I'm still living. There are days I can't believe that it's been however many days. It's been 30, 20, almost 30 days now.
We're after 3 weeks already. Yes.
And yesterday was the second day that I actually was able to leave the house. So yeah, I've not been functioning as a normal human being. I've not. And so I apologize for any of my harshness or my even lack of communication.
So have you looked at the text between you and I when I said that I was going to be handling my mom's death? Have you reread that, or did you delete it?
Oh, no, I still got it. I have not reread it. I've been thinking I should.
Yeah, you should, because in no way did I come at you harshly.
And you may be right about that.
I said, I will be handling my mom's, Mary Kelly's, affairs and assets. I will be handling her death. I will schedule to come to Montana soon. I want all materials and documents turned over as soon as possible. I even used the word please and thank you and whatever when I've been talking to you all along.
Yeah, you have attacked me. You have mocked me repeatedly. You telling me those aren't fighting terms?
I don't fight people.
Well, see, I've still got all the texts.
That's fine. I do too.
So you mock me for grieving. You mock me for.
No.
You accuse me of all kinds of stuff. My background is clean as a whistle. I have nothing to hide, and I understand what you do. I understand that if I understand, I should say, your business. That's what you do. You look for the negatives.
I'm a criminal justice major, and I'm a mental health advocate, so I don't look for the negative. I know the negative.
Well, and it doesn't explain many of the texts. I don't want to fight with people. No. I don't want to fight with you. And I'm trying to. Your mother had very few things here. I'm trying to get through them.
And the painting? What about the painting? If we're going to talk about her things, what about that painting?
No, we're going to think about the pain a little bit because she gave that to me very clearly. And she has given it to a couple of people in words.
No. She hasn't given it to Frankie.
Well, then you guys will have to discuss that one.
That's
She did not give it to Frankie, no, but she told her that she could have it.
No, she didn't. I told her she could. I told Frankie she could have it. If she gets it from you, great. She can keep it. If she doesn't, then I'll make sure I get it. Either way, it stays in our family.
So, well, let's see. You can't say that because there is no directive. She gave it to me when we became basically engaged, when we decided to be together as a couple. We had worked for quite a while figuring out if we could figure out a way to get it sold. And then we came to some dead ends, and she was done. And we were making solid plans to be together. And she said, I want you to have it. I don't want anything more to do with it. If you can get it, so whatever you want to do with it, it's yours. Mm. And she's repeated that to me several times over the 3-4 years since then. That was about 4 years ago. So
you had that discussion while you were in Oregon?
So, and all the time. We've had it while we were here. We were talking about, we knew Mother was getting close to dying, and we were finally going to have a life together, the two of us, and so we talked about, let's get that out of the way, then let's go back and start working on it and see if we can't find some way to get it sold. That's all she wanted to do, was get it sold.
I guess my question, sorry to interrupt you, but I guess my question is, you guys had that, she had that discussion with you while you're still living in Oregon about you getting the painting.
Yeah, that was 4 years ago. Yes.
Okay.
I'm rounding that out. I don't know the exact months.
No,
might even be
as long as
5.
you say it's while you're still in Oregon, that's fine.
Absolutely. And we've had many conversations since, yes.
And so if I told you that Mary, I'm going to use her name because Barbara's in the situation too, but if I told you that Mary, actually, the whole time she was in Oregon, somebody had a key and directions of where to get that painting from if something were to ever happen to her. Mind you, while the whole time she's been in Oregon, this is what happened. And that person was to go get it if anything happens to Mary and get a hold of me. How would you feel about that part? Or what do you think? She told me that. She told you that?
She told me, but that was before she went and got it herself. When she went and got it herself and relocated it, then that's when she told me that I don't know who it was, that somebody had. I know that she'd worked with several people. I didn't even ask.
Okay. Just wanted your thoughts on that.
At that time, it wasn't. She hadn't even given me, so I wasn't asking all kind of. I don't ask a lot of personal questions about what
that
people
time
do.
She what?
None of my business.
At that time, she what?
That's before she had given it to me, so I didn't ask a whole lot of personal questions about it. So.
Oh, that's why I asked if you had that discussion with her while you were still living in Oregon, and you said yes.
Yes, that was in Oregon. It all happened in Oregon.
Okay.
But she didn't tell me about the key thing until sometime later. But
okay, just wondering. Is there any other bills that you'd like to tell me about? Because I know about the gas. I know about the greenhouse, Home Depot, Cutting Edge, mortgage company, a lot of things. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell me about so I don't have to find it myself?
Let me think, and I don't think there is, Angela, but let me think on that, and yeah, anything that comes up, I'll let you know immediately. Not that I can think of at the moment.
Can you tell me where the plow came from, if it's not Cutting Edge?
Where the plow came from?
Yes.
Well, I think that's the, what'd you say, is it Synchrony or
Synchrony Bank is the credit card company, but it's also, Synchrony Bank is also, does credit card company for individual stores. So it's an actual store that you're...
and I think it's them. I think it's them who did the financing.
Right.
Of it. So, what are you asking me? Maybe I'm missing what you're asking me.
Where did the actual equipment come from?
The store that it came from?
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. I can find that pretty quickly, yeah.
Yeah, that's
where we actually bought it. Yeah. There in Kalispell.
Kalispell?
Is where the company is, yeah.
Is that Montana or Oregon?
Montana.
Okay. And
it's probably going to be what I'm trying to communicate with the truck financing for folks at OCC. The truck has been customized, modified to take
the plow.
The plow, so they
right.
have to be sold and then everybody paid off type of thing instead of just one people come and get it or something like that.
But you can't do that because it's in Mary's name.
Well, no, it's not anymore.
What do you mean it's not
anymore? The loan was, yeah. The title is not. I know. Wait, see, hold on. Maybe I'm getting confused.
No, I think you said just right. I think you said what you meant to say. You said that, so the loan is in Mary's name, which is correct, with no point of contact.
And they've taken her name off of it. I think they told me or something. You know how I've talked to so many people. I'm trying to get them confused a bit. So, but
the title can't go in your name if the loan is in Mary's name. But I mean, unless you tried. Am I mistaken?
Both of our names were on the title.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, if you find anything else, I'd appreciate you letting me know.
Yep.
And you said you've already talked to the credit union regarding the truck?
I'm trying to, I got to be on the phone with them today. I didn't talk to the right people. I'm expecting a call from them, one of the two. But yeah, I'm trying to get that wrapped up. And because of the combination plow truck thing, we got to figure out the right way to do this.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge problem unless you can take the plow off.
Well, I can take the plow off, but the truck is still all modified to accept that plow. So we get a lot more money out of it if we would sell it as a unit and then just make sure there was enough money to pay off.
Well, I think I would have to give the permission to sell it at this point. Wouldn't you think?
Well, of course, absolutely. That's why I'm communicating with them. I'm not going to do anything without directives, but that seems the smartest to me. If they want to do it differently, that's up to all of them, I guess. I'll do whatever they all finally decide needs to be done. But I'm trying to convince them that in this area especially, it would sell. I could even end up selling it as part of the property if we wanted to. And then we'd get more money out of it as a unit, and then there'd be the money to pay off both accounts and have them be clear.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not agreeable to that.
You are not?
Not at the moment.
What would you be agreeable to?
Well, speaking with OCCU, I've asked them to pick up the truck and we'll have that discussion afterwards because you have had no contact with me or anybody else for the past 3 weeks. And it's been 3 weeks. And look, I understand that you're going through a grieving process. I get that. And we all go through grieving processes as we should. But at the end of the day, a death, unfortunately, is a lot of business to handle. I had to handle my husband's death. I had to handle everything that went along with my husband's death. And we had 4 kids. So a death is business. Unfortunately, that's the reality of it. But
totally understand.
So I have to put emotions aside. So there, 1.A, I'm not angry with you. I'm not any other negative, pissed off word or any other word you can't hear or won't hear, will hear, whatever.
Go ahead and read through your text again then.
I did.
Okay.
I can read. I've read through all my texts. Yes, I've given you a hard time because you have stepped down, stepped back, and you haven't said anything to me whatsoever. So yeah, I've done every bit of this by myself, having to go through every log of everything and coming to find out that you are connected to hardly any of the bills, right?
Correct.
Why?
I explained that to you already in this phone call.
Because you've had no money.
I had no income, no anything. So
that's not a reason, Marvin. That's not a reason for you not to be a point of contact for any bill.
Well, I don't know
There's a difference.
If I was a point of contact or not.
No, you're not.
Well, I don't know why or what that even entailed. But
because that entails that you can handle any bills, whatever, if you're a point of contact. Say, if my mom got sick, if Mary got sick, then you could call in and say, what can I make a payment? Or can I do this? Or can I do that? You're a point of contact. It's not your bill. It's still in her name, but you are a point of contact, which you're not on anything that I have found except for, not even on insurance, except for that your name and Barbara's name is on the bill or is on the as drivers, not on the bill.
That would have probably been the responsibility of whoever actually had the loan. And Mary should have. I guess I just assumed that I was a point of contact. I didn't even think to check.
I'm talking about even your gas bill, like anything. I mean, even your insurance on the vehicles, you're not a point of contact. You are listed as a driver only. So you couldn't even call them and say, hey, I'm a point of contact. I can change all this. Mary's name has been taken off the truck.
I was a point of contact.
You're a driver.
I did call in and change all of that.
When was that?
Yesterday, the day before, this week.
Okay. And you've paid that bill?
Yes.
Do you remember when that was?
I can say it. I'm trying to...
No, I understand that, but do you know when you paid the bill?
I'm just getting around to where I'm able to get some of this done, finally.
That's okay. I'm just asking you, do you know when the bill was paid? For the insurance, automobile insurance.
I'm going to say yesterday or the day before. I've lost. I'm not keeping really good track of time. But it was the last 2 days.
Okay.
I believe yesterday. I think it was yesterday when I called back in and made sure that was paid.
And you paid it?
Yes.
Do you know how much you paid?
181 or something like that.
Okay. I'll contact them and ask them. Make sure it was paid, because Mary's name is taken off, but also there's no insurance on that truck right now.
Yes, there is.
You think so?
Yeah, so I was just calling in to make sure everything was still, let them know that Mary and Barbara were now gone, and took it all over and made sure it was all, that's what I just paid yesterday was the current premium.
Okay. Well, I'll follow up then just to see, because Mary...
They even asked me if I wanted anything suspended, and I said, no, let's just leave them all full until we get, another 30 days. We'll have a lot of things sorted out, I'm sure, so...
Okay. All right, well, I'll go contact them and just to make sure everything's cleared up that way. Because there's no reason for that truck to be out there without insurance. There's no reason for anybody to be out there without insurance, but...
Correct, I agree.
But no, as for the truck, I'd rather the bank, at this point, I'd rather them, which they will, I'd rather them go ahead and take it. And then, since you and I haven't had any discussions until now, I'd rather them go ahead and take it and figure, do you know how much is left on the loan? All these other things I need to know.
What about the plow that's attached to it and the plow equipment that's attached to it?
I mean, realistically and legally, you're not supposed to modify a vehicle without the permission of the lender. But, so that, I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? I have no say in that. So I have asked them. Go ahead.
So my view is that both of these accounts that are in Mary's name need to be cleared out. And the easiest way to do that is to get enough money to clear them out. If the plow, what is the plow? Of course, I guess they could just come and take the plow part of it.
Yeah, I don't know that they would.
I guess I can go ahead and just dismount the plow and let them take the truck.
That's up to you.
With the modifications, I guess I'd have to do that.
So the bank and I have discussed whether I wanted to pay for it, who wants to pay for it, if anybody wants to pay for it at all. And I told them at the moment, I'd rather them just pick it up and we can have the discussion afterwards. Now, if you leave that on there, that's completely up to you. If you want any part of that truck, we can have that discussion. I don't know how much is owed on it, and there's a lot of things that I have to put in place and put on a hold or a frozen status until I have her death certificates, which since her stuff is still with the state crime lab, it'll be another probably 6 to 8 weeks minimum.
To get the certificate?
Yes. Because all her toxicology and stuff has to come back from state crime lab.
And what can you not do until you get those?
Practically anything, except for freeze all of her accounts.
Gotcha. Yep, no, I didn't know any of that was going on. I mean, I
How could you not?
I've already said 4 times.
No, I know, I hear you. You don't have to explain to me.
I had to assume that they were, but I did not know what was going on. They won't tell me anything.
But they were in the beginning able to speak to you because they were talking to you and trying to talk to you, but with no response.
They told me I was the next of kin, and then until you stepped in.
The police told you that, and so we had that.
Yes.
We had that written discussion too, because that's out of their. That's not even.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. I just know what he told me.
Well, whoever told you that should be punished because that is not their right.
Could be, could not be. I don't know. I just know what I was told. That's all. I didn't have any reason to question anything at the time.
Okay. Well, if you find anything else or you find out about the snowplow or whatever, I'll call about the truck again today. But I mean, if you can figure out how much is still owed on it, we can have that.
Well, I don't know what you're frozen. If they'll even talk to me.
Nobody will talk to you because you're not.
Talk to them again.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's going to talk to you because you're not a point of contact, unfortunately. And I am her daughter, and even that I can't. I can prove with birth certificate and whatnot, but I just don't know how anybody else can prove anything else. Because Mom didn't put down you as a point of contact, even though you were living together. Which doesn't make sense to me at all.
Well, I don't know why, or if it was just an oversight, or...
No, it was an oversight. It was an oversight on every bill she has.
That's my point is, maybe it's just something she didn't click in that needed to be done. Because like you said, it's on every single one.
Yeah, but that's not how my mom is. That's not how Mary is.
I don't know.
She knows these things. She's not ignorant at all.
I didn't say that she was.
No, I didn't say you did. I'm just saying she knows these things, so what was her reasoning?
So that's, and then you asking me, and my answer is I don't know. I guess I just assumed that I was, so.
Yeah, and I don't understand her reasoning behind not doing it, because obviously she's not allowed to ask, but that's the state of the matter.
Right.
There's not much more that I could say about that, and once I get the death certificates and whatnot, then, I can handle that. But if you happen to have paperwork laying around that says how much the remainder of that loan is, you and I can have that discussion, because right now with OCCU, I have asked them to go pick it up, and then I can have that discussion with the bank, or it's the lender, but with the bank. I said, go pick it up first. I've already canceled insurance. Go pick it up, and we can talk about what to do with it next, because I had not spoken with you, and it was, I think when I first spoke with them, it was already 2 weeks later. So now we're in almost, now we just passed, 3 weeks? And everybody's asked, have I spoken with you? Do I know anything about you? And I said, nope, he's only communicating by text. Regardless of how you feel, that if I attacked you or didn't attack you or anger with you or whatever, I think you're capable of speaking. Grief sucks.
I have not been capable of speaking.
Huh?
I have not been capable of speaking. You wouldn't have understood me very well.
I would have waited and had patience and listened.
But I still had to have the energy and the mental capacity to do it. You can act like you don't get it all day long, but I've been extremely sick.
I didn't say I don't get it. I didn't say that at all.
Well, yeah, but yes, you didn't. I know you didn't say the words.
Right.
You keep expecting me to do stuff I wasn't able to do. Period.
Okay.
I froze my pump. I didn't even have the energy to go out and be checking my water levels. I totally spaced it. Didn't even think about what I do every single day, and had to put a new pump in because the one went dry just because I wasn't able to. I didn't think I need to be. Oh, that's right. I need to be checking the water levels. So I was out of it. I just about lost my life, and I don't know how close I came, probably closer than I know, and now I'm coming back out of it, and so, be patient and understanding with that or not.
It's been 3 weeks. I think I've been very patient in regards to you not calling me, but also I've handled other things because it had to be handled. Now, why would your daughter Heather state that you were suicidal? Were you?
The neighbor was worried that I was suicidal. He was checking on me a lot, and then he finally told me that's why he was coming by so often. So she heard that from him when they talked.
Oh, okay.
He told her that he was worried that I was.
Okay.
And I was so out of it that, I don't know what it appeared like to people, but so he asked me, I left all my door, everything unlocked, so he can just come by anytime and check, so, and he did, so.
Well, I'm glad you've had support.
I've got quite a bit of support around here.
That's good.
Everybody loved Mary and miss her.
That's good. Well, you have both my phone numbers. Feel free to call me on either one. I would like some information on the snowplow. And you don't have a tractor by the name of, or what's it called? It starts with B.
I don't have any tractors here. I have a little lawnmower.
I wonder why I was told that you have a tractor.
any more details you can come up on that, let me know. I'll see if I can figure out what they're talking about. But I wish I had a tractor. I'd do about anything to have a tractor. Nope. I rented one at one point for a day.
No, it starts with a K. Sorry, Kubota is the brand.
And it's on some kind of a payment plan?
No, I was just told that's the kind of tractor you have.
No, I have a small push snowplow that we paid cash for.
Under that brand name?
I have to look and see if it's a Kubota.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was told you had a tractor.
It's not a Kubota. It's not. No, that's not it.
No, I was told it was an actual tractor because I didn't know.
I've never had a tractor of any kind, and I've never had it. And if I had one, it'd probably be a Kubota. But nope, I don't own. Never have owned a Kubota.
Okay, so that's not part of the Synchrony debt then.
So Synchrony, I believe all that's on there should be the plow.
Okay.
And it's a Meyer, M-Y-E-R. I think that's how it's spelled.
Yeah, it is. It's a Meyer V2. I see it in the picture, or I see it in pictures.
Yeah. So I don't know what tractor thing is.
But do you know anything about Poshmark?
It's something that Mary had as an account. I didn't see it until.
So who has vintage purses?
So who has what?
Vintage purses.
Poshmark, is that where you sell stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's an account Mary opened up because she had, Mother had 2 or 3 older purses she thought she could sell.
Mother meaning Barbara?
Right. Mary we were trying to get some of the things sold that Barbara, didn't need or convert to cash. So she had opened up that account. I think she had tried it on Craigslist or something for a while, got nothing, and then found Poshmark.
So some of those purses they're all Barbara's.
They're all Barbara's, yeah.
Okay. If you can find the federal student loan number, I would appreciate that.
The one was, I've got several documents from, I don't know if I have the IRS stuff, but I do have the Treasury stuff. And is that what you're talking about?
Student loans. Federal student loans.
It might be in some of the paperwork she had upstairs. I've got all that getting into a box with a bunch of, like I say, other photos and documents.
So are you sending me all that or not?
Well, the plan is to get it to you, yes. I didn't know this, and I apologize for how this may sound. I don't mean it harsh in any way, but as I was going to use the word militant, and that's not a really good word. I'm trying to think of a better word than.
Well, let me give you, before you think of your word, let me give you this mount. I have 2 biological siblings. You know that. My biological siblings want nothing to do with anything, and they don't know why that I give a shit. Well, she's all of our moms, and that's on me to give a shit. If they don't want to give a shit, that's on them. At the end of the day, if there's anything left and there's whatever outweighs or at her debt or whatever, I mean, I'm not doing all this for money or anything else. I don't do this for money. This is my mom. Mary's my mom. Mary's their mom. We've had the discussion very openly about mom and any documents that need to be signed or what have you. They want nothing to do with anything because they don't want to have to pay for anything at the end of the day. So that's why it is the way it is. Everybody is fully aware, including Frankie, including Christine. They're all very aware of what's going on. 100%. Right now, the reason it lays on my shoulders, is because I give a shit. Because I'm the biological child that gives a shit.
Well, and I thank you for that, honestly. So my question wasn't related to that, but I appreciate all of that anyway. What I was trying to figure out how to say is, the way I was taking your business approach to this I'm going, I could send all this stuff off to her, and she could still deny I sent all this stuff off to her. So I'm trying to. So I've got one box. In fact, all of the important stuff is probably pretty much ready to be shipped, mailed somewhere. And it's just sitting there at the moment.
Do you not have my address?
So, you did give me your address, but that's why I just explained that I can send this off. I got to figure out how to somehow document that I actually got this stuff to you. So,
well, I will tell you this on my end because of who I am. Before I even open it, I will video the whole thing.
Okay.
I mean, that's just how, because that's the only way to document it. You can't, I don't know how you can document it, but that's the only way I can document it. Because there's nothing, huh?
I could do the same thing. And what I don't want is distrust between us, and I feel like that there is, and you feel like there is because I haven't communicated or responded or acted in ways you think I should have. But there's hopefully no reason for distrust anywhere. There's nothing. Everything is what it is. You can't hide from anything. And I've lived an extremely clean life. You've seen that. And Mary is smart enough, intelligent enough, experienced enough. She wouldn't be with somebody who is like you've been accusing me of being.
Marvin, I'm going to completely disagree with you on that, because every relationship that I've known my mom to be in, whether it was with a male, with a female, with a gender or transgender person, everyone has been physically abusive and controlling. Every single one. Yes, my mom is bisexual. She has been with a female, she has been with a transgender person, and she was with you. So every relationship she's been in. So it's not just the distrust with you, it's the fact that every relationship she's been in since I was a kid has been abusive and controlling. Everyone, and they all laid hands on her. So yeah, if you're gonna sit here and say that
why would there be no record in my whole background of any kind of abuse, any kind of even criminality? Why can't you find anything?
I haven't looked.
I'm 60 years old.
I know,
you haven't looked?
I haven't looked at your criminal history. Why should I? There's nothing I can do about my mom's death.
So your accusations just come out of the blue?
What, about the abuse?
Well, I have to go start reading through all your texts now and start pulling up. Either it's all hearsay or you've been trying to dig stuff up. One of the two. So I don't know what you're doing. I don't know.
Right, and you have no idea who I've talked to and who I know now. You don't know those things.
And you don't know who they are.
Right.
You talk to my brother and his wife. He's certifiably mentally ill.
I only talked to your brother first time yesterday. And that's only because he was asking me questions, and there's not a whole lot I can tell him. So our conversation wasn't long. That's it, because there's nothing I can tell him, and I don't know who he is.
Well, all I'm saying, wherever you're getting half the information that you're accusing of, either you've done research, or you're making it up, or somebody's telling you stuff. I don't know. But I encourage you to do all the research you want to do, because you're not going to find anything. So I encourage it. So I don't understand you mocking me, grieving, you saying the things that you're doing, that I'm doing, and
what about her being scared of you?
Hiding and being, and there's the other one that she was scared to death of me. I could probably pull up 100 people, and they would dispute that in seconds.
That'd be good.
Everybody who knew us knew that we were a close couple, loving. Even nurses in the hospital, you guys just get along so good, and there was none of that. I don't think she would have put up with anything for 2 minutes. Now I understand that she came from an abusive background, but I don't think she'd put up with crap from anybody. She'd be gone, or call the police if necessary. I don't think she's just to me a strong, business smart woman. I'm sure she still had some leftover issues from a lot of things she's dealt with in the past, but she's handling those quite maturely. And so to come and accuse me of things that, I mean, it just hurt. That's all. So do all the investigation you want to do. You're going to find at least way more positive than negative.
Okay.
And I was not comfortable with all of the arrangements. The mother's and her name was, but I didn't plan to lose Mary either. We knew the mother was going to go, and then.
So you knew your mom was going to go on December 9th?
I knew that she should have been gone probably 2-3 years ago. She almost died at the stroke. We've been keeping her going with nutrition and care, so we knew she could go anytime. So we knew that when she did, then we could get all reorganized and start having actually a life together. We really never got to really fully do that because it was about being here for Mother so much. It was hard, very hard for both of us, and it was hard on her. She wanted to be able to take her husband and go out and go do stuff, and we couldn't. We were here most of the time, so we were looking forward to all of that. So, but everything went in their names because I had no income. So it didn't. It's like every place we went, it's like no need putting me on here because. And so, anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize, but I haven't really accused you. I haven't accused you of anything. I mean, you know, verbiage is a certain way, and that's because I haven't accused you.
Well, I'm not trying to hold you to anything either, and I don't want to argue about it. I'm just saying, if it comes across harsh to me, whether it was meant to or not, you know, you're gonna meet resistance because I just back up. Not that I'm not a fighter, but I try to avoid the conflict, and I've been so mentally, emotionally, and physically out of it that I just couldn't take much beating on. Just couldn't take it. And I said I just got to get well so I can be able to stand up and deal with this stuff. So that's been my focus, is to try to get well, mostly.
Okay. Well, if you find documentation of the things I've asked for, please feel free to let me know. And do you have my actual address, or do I need to send it to you again?
Well, you sent it to me in text, so I assume, and then it seems like you gave it to me a second way, didn't you?
I'll send you my new address right now.
Feel free, and I'll get a couple of these boxes ready to go, and get them to you.
Are you going to have a problem paying for this?
Sure.
You are going to have a problem paying for this?
Yeah, I lost 2 incomes. Same when I lost, when I lost Mary and Mother, I lost all the incomes to the house. Absolutely.
So, what happened to Barbara's $8,000 that was signed over to you? Is that gone too?
It's mostly in the account. But guess what? I've got a few months to figure out how to live and get everything sorted out. I can't just be throwing money around. Yeah, without that was just a huge blessing right at the last second there, because without it, I'd be in really bad shape, worse than I am. So there's funds there. That's not what you asked me. I got to watch every single penny until I can figure out what's going on with me, what's going on with. The plan originally was to get my mother out of Portland. All of her friends were going in lockdown. They're all dead now. They were all dead within about a month or two of us moving here. because of all the stuff that they were doing in those places. We got her out of there, out of the ugliness, so that she had a place to spend her last days in some peace and some harmony. And then we bought a fixer-upper when it was in the process of being fixed up, figuring we can work on it while we're here, while everybody's here, and then when we lose Mother, make an assessment and see where we at. Do we need to sell it now? Can we figure out a way to stay? And so everything, the plan was all working perfectly, and building to a retirement and everything, and the plan just didn't include losing Mary. And because as soon as Mom went, I'd be able to figure out probably a way to get back to work, and we could start actually having our regular life again. And but so now I've got to figure it. I got to get well. I got to get all this figured out, and you're helping me with that, which is helpful. And then figure out how it all comes out in the wash. The plan was to try to get some equity so that we could get it sold, get the loan paid off, and then
get the house loan paid off. Is that what you're talking about?
That would be the first thing. That would be the first. If we had to sell, then we could sell, which would pay off the loan first, and then whatever amount was left, can be to start a new life and help take care of part of the family. So that's kind of what we were building towards. So.
Well, that really sucks because you deeded that to your PATA group, so that kind of sucks.
What do you mean?
Was the deed not to PATA? PATA, however your religious thing is?
Correct.
It is or it is not?
It is.
Okay. So that has to be handled first.
What has to be handled first?
The deed.
Well, property has to be sold, and then the money gets dispersed to everybody who has the money coming to them, mortgage first, etc. So.
Yeah, but it can't be sold without the lender involved.
Correct.
So.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, like I said, if you find any of those things, I'd appreciate you letting me know what other bills that I have not found and I do not have, or I haven't gotten to yet. Feel free to send me information on that. And you have my actual home address now, which either address will work just fine. If there's any other questions that you may ask or that you may need to know, please feel free to let me know. And also, if there's anybody that needs a death certificate for Mary, please feel free to let me know that too. But at the end of the day, Mary's death certificate cannot be gotten until the investigation is over with. So we're looking probably another 6 to 8 weeks. That actually means not the house, nothing can be sold until the death certificate comes into my hands and who I disperse it to. Not even the house.
Why does it take so long? Is it
because it's in the middle of an investigation? That's why.
No, I understand that, but
State Crime Lab is backed up. She has gone to State Crime Lab.
I was wondering if they're just really busy. Yeah.
No, they're always busy, but then sometimes they're just as busy all the time. But that State Crime Lab is not the coroner. It's above him. It's the state.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Alrighty then. Let me see what I can dig up here. I understand the couple things we need to focus on the most, and we'll go from there. So.
What are the things we need to focus on the most?
Well, you need information on the plow.
I mean, like I said, the plow and the truck both have a debit on them, or they're both a debt, have a lien or loan on them, whatever. Lien or loan or whatever you want to call it, or with a credit account. It can be picked up. It can be held until this situation is worked out. Because they can pick it up, but they can't necessarily sell it until I have given them a death certificate. So and my discussion with them is, don't want you to sell it. I want to have the discussion of what's owed and what's not owed and what needs, what could possibly be next instead of you guys selling it. You have another vehicle. Is that vehicle functioning where you can drive it?
Well, it's at the shop. It's been at the shop for about a month, just because he was trying to work on some things.
The BMW?
So that's one of the calls I've got to make today, is see where he's at with that. Yeah, so let's...
It's up to you. I mean, if you want to take it off the plow off the truck, that's up to you. But understand, somebody can get the plow just as well. Somebody can get anything.
I just don't want them to end up with... I mean, I don't want the plow folks...
It won't be to be held.
If both are going to be repossessed, I don't want the plow people not to be able to get their plow back.
Well, they won't. That's not a problem because the two companies can be connected in discussion. So the credit union and Cutting Edge, I think, is the plow company name. They can be connected. You think what?
What's the... I can never say it. I want to say Serenity, but that's not it. What's the other one?
Synchrony.
Synchrony, I believe, is the plow. I'm
right.
Trying to correct
it is.
I think that's the plow, not the Cutting Edge thing. I got to look and see what
well,
that
Cutting
is.
Edge is with Synchrony. Same difference. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay. Now we're on the same page. Gotcha.
So if I had a Lane Bryant, if I had a Walmart card, credit card, right?
Right.
There would have to be an institution, a banking institution behind that credit card. Synchrony is the banking institution, and the store is Cutting Edge. So
Gotcha.
I don't know what store you use.
And you did want the name of the store we bought from. I'll look that up too.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great, but at the same time, the truck will be held. Nothing will be changed on it. The piece will be held as well, if that's still attached to it, which should not be an issue. It'll just be held until we get this stuff sorted out, which in itself may take 6 to 8 weeks. If you think you want to take the plow off and use it on something else, that's up to you. That's you. There's nothing I can say or do about it. I didn't have to even give you a heads up that the truck is going to be going or anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the plow is in your mother's name also.
I know that.
And so it's not about taking it off to use it on something else. We've got to clear out that debt.
Well, anything that's going to be picked up is going to be put on hold until Mary's death certificate. So 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, you said if I wanted to take it off and use it on something else.
I'm just saying that's up to you. I didn't have to give you a heads up on any of this. That's just up to you.
Right. Understood.
If you don't need it right now and you want it to be held, it can be held and dispersed as needed, or it can be given back, or whatever way we end up deciding to deal with the truck and the plow. I mean, if it's not something you're going to need on your next property, is it something you want to obtain and keep? I mean, that's completely up to you, or do you want to go back to the vendor? I don't know.
Well, that was my original plan, is if there's a way to keep it and take it over, and because everything's in her name, each company has to decide how that's all going to be handled. That was my original plan, was to keep it and
to keep the truck?
If I stay in this area, you need it. So, well, not 100% necessarily, but largely. Like say, one day we got 4 feet of snow in like 2.5 days. And the driveway here is 500 plus feet. So either you pay somebody, several $100s to come in and do it for you each time, or you plow your own. And of course, with that, I could actually begin to make an income, potentially helping other people get cleared out. But
the situation is that it is in Mary's name, and
correct.
And both it's going to get repoed regardless what you do.
Exactly.
But that's on me telling them to go ahead and pick it up, because I did drop insurance on it, and I did drop Mary's insurance on it. So they have the right to pick it up. And from what I'm seeing, I can call insurance company.
It's all fully insured. I got an email I could show you. They sent an email back, and
you got an email that you can show saying it's paid. That's completely fine. I mean,
I didn't even know you contacted them or whatever. I'm just trying to get some business done, and
I didn't have any choice.
That was a bill that was past due. So it was when I called yesterday. I think I called them 2 days ago, and then we talked again yesterday. But
I didn't have any choice. I mean, you have to understand that I didn't have any choice. I can't leave all this debt.
No, about that at all. I wasn't trying to make any kind of implication.
That's fine.
I'm just saying I didn't know you had contacted them.
Well, look, at 2 weeks. At 2 weeks, you had not contacted anybody, so I didn't have any choice but to start making all these contacts.
Absolutely, no. I'm not mad at you at all about that. So no worries. But so I'm expecting a call. I'm going to be supposed to be getting back in touch with the truck OCC, whatever it. I can't never say it.
The credit union.
So remind me now what am I trying to figure out now? Just the balance? What do we need to know now?
I mean, the only way they're going to tell you what the balance is if you're on it and you're not. So, and you're not a point of contact. There's nothing they can tell you. If you can find document paperwork, like hard copy paperwork, and you know what's there or what's owed and what's been paid, that's great. If you can't, then we're going to have to wait and see what they say. I mean, in the end of the day, they want their machine back, and there's already a payment passed that's missed. So they just don't play lightly with that stuff. And the fact that nobody's heard from you, which I understand you've been sick, and I understand everything else, I get that. But unfortunately, death is business. We have to handle a lot of business, or we're going to end up with all these debts that are going to keep coming and keep coming until it needs to be frozen. And so stuff is frozen. Nothing should be able to come out of my mom's accounts. Nothing should be able to go into my mom's accounts at this point. I think you made a payment on the snowplow recently on the 4th of January, I think it was.
I know that she had some of those set up as automatic.
No, she doesn't. No, I know you called in because I've actually spoken with them, and they gave me date, time, and everything else about the information about you calling in to make the payment. So, do you remember doing that?
On the plow?
I'm assuming, yeah. It's if that's what's connected to that particular credit card, then it's the plow.
I've paid a couple of things here in the last few days or whatever, but I don't remember now exactly what. I'm trying to go through. I've been trying to go through that here for a day or so right now, getting what's organized, what's due, when's it due, trying to get all that together just the last few days.
Okay, I'll ask you then. Since I have the information, I can ask you, and you can tell me if it's from your card, if it's from somebody else's card, if you don't mind telling me. So a payment was made on January 4th of 2022 by phone, a debit card ending in 5260. Is that your card?
I believe that's my card.
Your debit card?
I believe that's my debit card.
The cutting edge synchrony card is last four digits is 1902 is the store card, and the total balance remaining is $2,374. That is, if that's the plow, that's the plow. I don't know, but I will be receiving this in the mail soon. So after you made that payment, which I did not know you did, is when I froze it on, let's see, I froze the account. So right now you're looking, so it was the 11th I froze the account. Because you didn't have, by the 11th, I didn't know anything. I haven't heard anything from you. And this is the information they gave me that's the only bill that I know that you've paid on.
And that one you believe is the plow. Okay,
it says cutting edge, which cutting edge is it's a tractor, yard equipment, whatever the heck it is. And the only thing I know that you have right now so far is the plow. It's a financing for lawnmowers, snow blowers, and more, is what it says.
Yeah, lawnmowers, snow blowers. It's got to be them, yeah.
You made a payment on January 4th, so it was not an automatic payment or anything like that. She had no automatic payment set up that I know of, except for when she was getting money in, which was going to the ACE card that I'm assuming Heather has, because it's the only ACE card that I see. ACE Elite or whatever that is. And Heather really needs to go ahead and not empty that, not use that in any way, shape, or form.
She does not.
But it was recently used. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, with permission. Yeah.
After my mom's death?
After your mom's death?
Yeah.
then I may have used it. It wouldn't have been Heather.
What color is the card? Do you know?
The one Heather had was gold. She said
green.
Oh, it was green.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I have both of them. She thought she had given it to me when she brought the nutritionals over to us, and so I have the green one and what's the other color? It's like a pink one. And they're sitting over there where they're not going to be touched.
But you said you've already used it after Mary's death?
I don't remember when I went to town and got some gas and a few supplies.
Can you take a picture of the card so I can see which ones you have? Or would you rather not? It's up to you. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to use them because whatever comes in or out of that card is going to be seen. Or those
Absolutely.
cards, they're going to be seen. So there's nothing...
Yeah. And it'll all be sealed and I could probably get and why she had two. There was some fraud on her account, I think, at one point, and so they sent her an extra card. But she gave one to see. We're we're 2 hours away from
Heather.
real town.
Oh, okay.
Heather lives in Kalispell. Now we have Libby here, which is a little bigger, but there was stuff that she needed to get that it was pretty inconvenient just to drive all the way there and all the way back. So Mary asked her to have a card just in case we needed help them, they needed help us. So it was all Mary's thing. But Heather is extremely trustworthy and would never use it unless we gave her authorization. So no worries there.
No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried there, except for I do have some of the actual account itself of money going out, which includes a liquor store. So, I don't know. Did you guys drink?
Your mother drank, sure.
Okay.
Not heavy, but yeah.
And other debts that are over there's one that's, there's several debts. So several things were paid, and some of them are quite high. However, if you don't mind at least giving me a picture or the last 4 digits.
What are you trying to say? I'm missing what you're trying to communicate.
Oh, I'm not trying to say anything.
Debts that are paid.
I'm saying that, I hear what you're saying in regards to this in case we need something from here, and, I'm assuming maybe you guys get stuck in the snow way up there somewhere or wherever you are. I'm just saying I see a log of things that have been with this card, have been used with this card.
Sure.
And it's just not small things that it's debit pre-authorizations. That means things that get paid. That also means I've seen the money that comes in, So that has stopped now. Hopefully that's completely stopped because I've had to talk to people to get it to stop. But if you can at least show me the last 4 digits of both of those cards, I would appreciate it, and we can verify which cards it is.
Let me hold on a second. I can give you those right now. Let me stop to think what I said. Give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, so the pink one, which was the one Mary carried most of the time, unless I was carrying it for her, is 9321.
Okay.
The green one, 9019.
Okay. And the pink one is with who? Ace Elites?
They're both Ace Elites.
Okay. Then you have the card I'm questioning her about. That I've asked Heather to make sure you have, so.
I've got the green one, yeah.
No, not you have, but make sure it's not in her possession any longer or being
yeah,
used.
Again, she was pretty sure after I guess you guys talked to. She was looking for it, couldn't find it. Then she remembered she was pretty sure she brought it to me, and so that would explain why I've got both of them here in my possession.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, you can send them to me. You can cut them up or whatever you want to do, or you can hold on to them, and we'll figure out what goes next with them.
Yeah, we'll just figure it out. Yeah, but yeah, they won't be used.
I mean, I don't know that you need money right now, except for you just got your mom's $8,000, right? So,
right.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not without. I just got to be really careful until.
Yeah, I do too.
I figure out what's going on next.
I do too. I literally just bought a house December 15th.
Yep.
And then all of this, so. It's not exactly, enjoyable. It's not exactly like I have a whole lot of money just to be running up and going out to Montana or anything else. I don't want to, but if I need to, then I'll have to. Or if I have to, I will. I mean, whichever way, however we need to say that. I just want to make sure things are in order, and yeah, I'm sorry. I'm able to see Barbara's bills and everything else too, so I don't understand. I'm just making sure everything is in order and, going from there. Like I said, if you don't mind, actually, if you don't have to, I can call the insurance company and see did you insure the truck as well?
Yes, paid both of them.
Marvin. All right. Well, when's a good time to call you back, or would you like to call me back?
Hold on just a second if you have it still. Wait here. Let me take a second. Oops. Happened. So I guess it's not itemized, but the BMW was around $74 a month, and the other one was the truck was like 110 or something. Anyway, they didn't give me an itemized receipt in the emails, just says the 181.84. I would have expected it to be a little more specific than that, but anyway, call them if you want. And but yeah, I made sure both of them were covered until things got figured out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, all I can say is about the truck right now, it's they need to pick it up. I'm not, like I told them, I don't want to discuss anything about how much is, anything about it yet. Just go pick it up, get in their possession, and then we can talk about what is what, because at that point I had no conversation with you as a verbal conversation, communication in regards to anything. So my only course of action is to pick it up. Not anything against you or anything against anybody else, but if there's no insurance that was covered, right, which that was the case.
It's been covered the whole time.
It wasn't.
It was. I confirmed that with them. It was due to be terminated on the 28th of this month if no payment had came in. Okay. So it was covered all the way through. The payment was late, yes.
Okay.
But it was covered the whole time, and then of course now it's paid and due again on the 7th of February. So
okay.
So whoever thought that it was not insured was mistaken.
The fact that it was late, you're right. And the fact that you and I had no conversation in regards to anything, that means that we were looking at cancellation. And because I took Mary's name off the policy, you know, logically and legally, you can't cover the truck. I mean, maybe it's different in Montana. I would think not.
I don't know.
The truck can't be covered in your name under that truck because the loan is not in your name. You know what I'm saying? So since Mary come off the insurance, my mom come off the insurance, then legally it makes it where there's no insurance on that truck because, I mean, I could be wrong. It's the state of Georgia.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, that could be across the board in regards to insurance. I'm not sure. I know that's the way it is here. I'm not sure what it is there. It's just another conversation I'll have to call them and ask them how that works, because if Mary has passed and this is in her name, the title's really still in her name. Everything is supposed to be still in her name because it is a loan situation. There's not much I can do with it until I have that conversation with them what to do. And I've asked everybody to not do anything in regards to selling it or credit collections or anything else after things have been picked up, because until I actually have her death certificate in my hands and start dispersing that properly, I'd really rather them not. I mean, yeah, they can take it, but don't, freeze the accounts. Don't let anything happen to it. Hold on to it. You know where it is. You know where it's safe, kind of thing. And just freeze the account until I can get the rest of it handled. And that means a death certificate.
Right.
Outside of that, I don't know what else to tell you. Because, like I said, I'll call insurance to find out if you are able to have insurance on the truck or not. Because like I said, I know here that if it's my vehicle on a loan in my name, the insurance has to be in my name. Period.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
If this is the same case in Montana, that means the truck is not covered. So you have to be very, very careful with that. I don't even know how to put it in your name.
You think they'd have thought about that, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll just check it out and see.
The insurance company is not the insurance company's choice. You can put insurance on anything you want. It's the creditor.
Right. I gotcha.
It's the lender, the one who owns the truck. And it's
gotcha.
It's a state or federal thing. I'm not even really sure what the limitation, because it used to not be like that. So I don't know if that's across the federal board or if it's across state board. So I can look that up and figure it out or call.
Yep.
So you still may have insurance, but you still may not be covered.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Understood.
Okay. I can call and find out. I don't know what they're going to say or not say. So just be aware, and go ahead and see what's up with the BMW and see if you can find out if there's any hard copies of anything stating how much is left on the truck. We can have those discussions.
Yep. Okay. Alrighty, ready.
Hope you get better.
Yep. Oh, I am. Thanks so much for that.
Yep. And I don't know your whatever his name is, Kathy. So that's between y'all.
Oh, I don't want to say anything negative or positive. Just if you're gonna dig.
I am.
Yep. So, alrighty. Let's talk at least as soon as we need to, whatever that is.
All right. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye, Marvin.